The generation of PlayStation 4 has really only just started. We've already seen some great titles hit the console like Knack and Killzone. Today I'm going to be going over 10 games that need to be on the PlayStation 4. Also do note this isn't a top 10, this is just 10 games that I believe should hit the console, so they're in no particular order, and I hope you guys liked today's video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and let's get on with it. Dark Cloud 3. So, I'm not a huge fan of Dark Cloud, but I really did enjoy it back in my childhood era. I mean, I remember playing the Dark Cloud on the demo disc when I first ever got my fat PlayStation 2, and I remember just scavenging through dungeons, slaying vampiric bats, destroying orcs, and obviously searching those pods, which out of the pods you collect different village pieces, and with those village pieces you could create and customize your very own village, and when you created more of the village, the storyline would progress. Dark Cloud 2 was also very cool. I felt like it was more RPG-ish than the first one. However, I did enjoy number 1 more so than I did number 2. I'd really like to see Dark Cloud 3 hit the PlayStation 4, and last year apparently it was announced and confirmed that it would be hitting the PlayStation 4 sometime. When, we don't know, but apparently Dark Cloud 3 has already been confirmed, and I hope it's not just a rumor, because that would be pretty gutting. Ratchet Clank. So Ratchet Clank is pretty much a given. I mean, Insomniac have been strong with the series ever since it was first developed. The game has been running strong for years now, and you know, Insomniac's latest title with Ratchet & Clank is obviously Nexus, which could possibly be going to PS4, who really knows, but as far as PS4 getting its own Ratchet & Clank titles, we're yet to see that. Basically, Insomniac have been developing the Ratchet & Clank series for years on end now, and it's no given sort of conspiracy that Ratchet & Clank won't be going to the PS4. So it's only really a matter of time now. Possibly we might see a new Ratchet & Clank title be going to the PS4 at E3 in a couple of days, but who really knows. Scalar. So Scalar is this game, which you guys may not know about, but it appeared on the PS2, I think the Xbox, and I know it was on the GameCube. Scalar is an awesome game. It's very underrated, something that a lot of people don't know about. You know, I've talked to people in the past, I'm like, PS2 games are Scalar, and they'll be like, what's Scalar? So basically Scalar, it's like a platforming game. Basically you play as this kid who gets transferred into this lizard and he gets put in this other world, and basically as you progress through the game you're able to transform into different type of monster things. It's a really cool game, such a great adventure game. If you guys haven't played it yet, pick it up, but I really would love to see Scalar, maybe Scalar 2 or something, come to the PS4. It's a very old title, and you know, seeing it on the PS4 is something that I don't think will happen, but I loved this game as a kid, and I would not be complaining if Scalar 2 came out for the PS4. That would be sick. Devil May Cry. So the latest addition to the Devil May Cry series is DMC. Now a lot of people are confused about this. They're like, is the newest Devil May Cry connected to the older ones? Talking about you know, DMC 1, DMC 2, and DMC 3, Dante's Awakening. Well, the latest DMC is actually a reboot of the series. Many people don't really know this, but it is a reboot of the franchise. Of course, it still contains Dante and Virgil, the very main characters of the Devil May Cry universe, but it has no connection to the older games. Now, basically, I do believe that we're going to be seeing DMC 2 on the PS4 and the Xbox One most probably. I'd really like to see that because I love Devil May Cry. I grew up with this game. I always remember playing DMC 3 with my dad. Great times, but Devil May Cry 2, I can guarantee that, you know, it's going to be coming out, you know, the reboot version of DMC 2. I can almost tell and taste that it's coming to PS4. Hopefully we get to see something about it at E3 this year. The Elder Scrolls 6. So the latest in Elder Scrolls is, well, disappointing. For a lot of Elder Scrolls fans, we were super pumped and hyped for the Elder Scrolls Online, and it's only in a matter of months where PS4 users and Xbox One users are going to be able to play the Elder Scrolls Online on their console. Well guys, hold up, don't get excited, because the Elder Scrolls Online is a disappointment. Not saying the game's bad or whatever, but it's really not how you're expecting it. If you're going to be jumping into the Elder Scrolls Online expecting it to play like Skyrim, Oblivion, Morrowind, etc, then you will be disappointed, and do not go into that game expecting that. But however, you know, when you see an Elder Scrolls game, you're like, it's going to play like an Elder Scrolls game, and that's where ESO failed. So I really do hope to see the Elder Scrolls continue, not with the online bullshit, but with the main storyline, you know, Elder Scrolls 6. I hope to see maybe Elder Scrolls 6 Elsewhere, Elder Scrolls 6 High Rock, anything like that, but I'd love to see a continuation of the main series progress. That would definitely put a smile on my face. Jak and Daxter. So Jak and Daxter, they're both mascots of the PlayStation era. The PlayStation 2 era, anyway. Jak and Daxter is by far one of the best platformer games ever created, period. If you guys haven't played the HD collection of the game, pick it up for your PS3 because it is worth the play. But Jak and Daxter is a huge part of my childhood. I played this game all the time when I was a young one. And of course you guys know that, you know, Jak and Daxter is no longer continued. The last Jak and Daxter game created and developed by Naughty Dog was Jak X, which was the combat racing. And then after that, the Lost Frontier came out, created by, I think, Universal Studios, I believe. However, I'd love to see Naughty Dog reclaim the rights to Jak and Daxter, and for them to remake, you know, or just come out with like a whole new Jak and Daxter 4. Yeah, Jak and Daxter 4. I love to see them do that. Of course, you know, Naughty Dog are really like hard at work making The Last of Us 2. Maybe it's a given, pretty much. And of course, the untitled Uncharted title, which is probably Uncharted 4, but of course, you know, once they've finished doing all that sort of stuff like that, I really would love to see a Jak and Daxter being made. There was some sort of news on Naughty Dog taking the rights back to Jak and Daxter, and if that's true, then I say thumbs up to you, Naughty Dog. That is a great idea, because I'd love to see Jak and Daxter with like the Uncharted engine or something. That'd be absolutely sick. But yeah, Jak and Daxter. The Last of Us 2. So The Last of Us is pretty much the biggest title on the PlayStation 3. It blew us by storm, and we were super pumped for it when we saw the announcement and teaser trailers for the game. And our expectations lived up to our expectations. I mean, even better than we thought. This game is absolutely amazing, The Last of Us. So basically, at the end of the game, it leaves us on a cliffhanger. Even Ellie mentions it. She hates things that leave you on a cliffhanger, and that's exactly what The Last of Us does. So without a doubt, I would say that, you know, The Last of Us 2, it's coming. You know, Naughty Dog was so successful with the first one, why not bring out a second one? So I say Last of Us 2, PS4, do it Naughty Dog, we all want to see it. Resistance 4. So I know Resistance has been going on for a while, and you know, Insomniac are busy doing other things, but you know, I see some people and they're like, I'm sick of Resistance. Like, dude, how can you be sick of Resistance? I absolutely loved it. It was one of the first PlayStation 3 games I ever played. Super loved it. I mean, it sort of started off like as, it sort of felt like a budget shooter. But as I played through number 2, then played through number 3, I was like, you know what, screw those first impressions. Resistance is awesome. I love the series. I absolutely loved number 2 and 3. They are my favorite. Haven't played the Vita version of it yet, but I'm sure if they made Resistance 4 and brought it to the PS4, I would definitely play it. Do it, Insomniac. Your fans are crying out. Spyro. Yes, that is right, the most renowned and most favorited dragon of gaming, Spyro, coming in. We need to see Spyro return. The last decent Spyro game that we saw was Spyro Year of the Dragonfly, and that wasn't developed by Insomniac Games. However, you know, it was still a pretty good installment, even though it wasn't actually developed by the main developers. So Spyro is definitely one of the biggest mascots of the PlayStation 1 era, and probably is one of the best platforming games ever. Just from collecting gems, to going to different worlds, to gaining new powers, Spyro is the shit, and it is the biggest game of my childhood. Absolutely loved Spyro so much. I'm really sad to, you know, see where Spyro went. Of course, Universal Studios got a hold of the, you know, the rights to Spyro and stuff. And they ruined it and made it all this like Skylanders bullshit and stuff and all this other shit. And apparently, you know, the rights to Spyro is owned by a completely separate company who ever made Skylanders. So I do not believe that we'll actually ever be seeing Spyro rebooted and stuff, which is sad to say, but I'd absolutely love a Spyro game to hit PS4, and I'm talking about the classic Spyro, the classic way Spyro's played, not Skylanders, not with the sort of hardcore Spyro, none of that stuff. I want to see classic Spyro, how the Spyro games are played on the PS1. Crash Bandicoot. Yes, that is right, guys, the most renowned, the most favorite mascot of the PlayStation era of all time, Crash Bandicoot, needs to return to the PlayStation 4. Now, if you guys don't know, the rights to Crash Bandicoot have been long gone from Naughty Dog's hands. Universal Studios, once again, the same thing that really happened with Spyro, Universal Studios got a hold of Crash Bandicoot, and that's sort of when, Crash went downhill. Now, I'm not saying Universal didn't really do anything good with Crash Bandicoot, because they did. They brought out Crash Wrath of Cortex, I believe, and the other one, Crash Nitro Kart. Those two games, those two Crash Bandicoot games, created and developed by Universal Studios, they were really good. They were actually two really good games. But then, of course, the classic Crash Bandicoot games, number 1, 2, and 3, were amazing. But then when we sort of started getting into the advanced Crash Bandicoot, like the shitty Crash of the Titans, that's when everyone lost hope with, Crash Bandicoot and, Crash Tag Team Racing and stuff. Yeah, let's ignore that shit. But honestly, Naughty Dog, please try get the rights to Crash back and bring him back. Bring him back to his classic way of collecting Wumpa Fruit. None of this Twinsanity shit. I want normal warp rooms with gems and time relics and crystals. I want all that shit back. I did actually see something somewhere about Naughty Dog possibly trying to get the rights to Crash back. Once again, that could be a rumor and stuff, and I don't know if it's true information, what I was looking at and stuff. But honestly, Naughty Dog, if you can do it, do it. I would love to see Crash Bandicoot in HD gloriness with amazing graphics and just the way it used to play. I'm sure lots of fans of the series would love to see it. Anyway guys, those are 10 games that I believe should make their way to the PS4 console. Tell me your guys in the comments section below. Like this video if you guys enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter for more news and updates. And until next time, I will catch you guys later. Peace.